Ever heard of a city saved not by an army, but by the wisdom of a single woman? It's a story you might have missed, tucked away in the Old Testament. But it's one of the most powerful examples of how courage and a clear head can change the course of history. Let's dive into the incredible tale of the Wise Woman of Abel Beth Maacah. Our story kicks off right after a rebellion led by King David's own son, Absalom, has been put down. You'd think things would finally calm down, right? Wrong. The kingdom is still a mess of political tension. The northern tribes of Israel feel disrespected and overlooked by the tribe of Judah, David's own tribe. It's like a family squabble that's about to blow up the whole house. And right on cue, a troublemaker steps onto the scene. His name is Sheba, son of Bichri, from the tribe of Benjamin. He sees this division and decides to pour gasoline on the fire. He blows a trumpet and yells, "We have no share in David, no part in Jesse's son. Every man to his tent, Israel." Essentially, he's declaring a new civil war, trying to split the kingdom in two. And guess what? The men of Israel actually listen to him. They abandon David and follow Sheba. Talk about a fragile peace. King David, back in Jerusalem, is not having it. He just dealt with one rebellion. He's not about to let another one tear his kingdom apart. He turns to his new commander Amasa and gives him a direct order. Summon the men of Judah and be back here in 3 days. But here's the first twist. Amasa takes longer than the 3 days he was given. We don't know why. Maybe he was a poor organizer. Maybe the men were slow to respond, but his delay proves fatal. David gets impatient and worried. He tells his trusted but ruthless General Joab, "Sheba is going to cause us more trouble than Absalom did. Take my men and go after him before he finds a fortified city and escapes us." Now, there's some serious drama here. Joab had recently been demoted by David, with Amasa taking his place. You can just imagine the tension. So Joab, along with his brother Abishai and David's elite soldiers, sets out. And they soon meet Amasa on the road. What happens next is brutal and shocking. Joab walks up to Amasa, pretending to greet him warmly. He says, "How are you, my brother?" and takes hold of Amasa's beard to kiss him. But with his other hand, he pulls out a hidden dagger and strikes Amasa in the stomach, killing him instantly. It's a cold, calculated act of political assassination. Joab reclaims his command through pure violence and then continues the pursuit of Sheba without missing a beat. The chase is on. Sheba and his followers are on the run, and they eventually find refuge in a fortified city in the far north of Israel called Abel Beth Maacah. It's a significant, well-defended city. Sheba probably thought he was safe behind its thick walls. He was wrong. Joab and his army arrive and immediately lay siege to the city. This wasn't a gentle negotiation. A siege in ancient times was a terrifying, drawn-out process of starvation, disease, and eventual slaughter. Joab's men start building a siege ramp against the outer wall, preparing to batter it down and storm the city. For the people of Abel, innocent civilians caught in the middle, this was a death sentence. Their homes, their families, their entire world was about to be destroyed, all because they gave shelter to one fugitive. The sound of the battering ram would have been the sound of their impending doom. But then, when all hope seems lost, a voice calls out from the city wall. It's not a soldier, not a king, but a woman. The Bible doesn't even give us her name. She's simply known as a wise woman. She shouts to the besieging army, "Listen, listen. Tell Joab to come here so I can speak to him." Think about the sheer guts this took. An entire army is at your gates, ready to tear your city apart, and you, a woman in a patriarchal society, demand to speak to its bloodthirsty commander. Joab, probably intrigued by this boldness, approaches the wall. She begins the conversation with incredible intelligence. She doesn't beg or plead. Instead, she appeals to tradition and reason. She says, "Long ago they used to say, 'Get your answer at Abel,' and that settled it." She's reminding Joab that her city has a reputation for wisdom and for resolving conflicts peacefully. It's a place known for its heritage, a mother in Israel. She's essentially asking, why are you trying to swallow up and destroy what belongs to the Lord? This city is part of God's inheritance. We are loyal to David. What is going on? She reframes the entire conflict. It's not about rebellion anymore. It's about the potential destruction of a faithful, important city. She puts Joab on the defensive. Joab's response is surprisingly direct. He says, "Far be it from me. Far be it from me to swallow up or destroy. That is not my intention." He clarifies his objective. A man named Sheba, son of Bichri, has lifted his hand against King David. Hand over this one man, and I will withdraw from the city. The situation is now crystal clear. The lives of thousands hang on the fate of one man. The woman immediately understands. She tells Joab his head will be thrown to you from the wall. Now she has to convince her own people. She goes back into the city, and, as the text says, she spoke to all the people in her wisdom. We don't know her exact words, but imagine the scene. The people are terrified. Some might be loyal to Sheba. Others are just scared. She had to use all her powers of persuasion to convince them that sacrificing one guilty man was the only way to save everyone. She had to cut through the fear and chaos and present a logical, life-saving solution. And they listened. The people of Abel cut off Sheba's head and threw it over the wall to Joab. Just like that, the problem was solved. True to his word, Joab sounds the trumpet and his army disperses. They pack up and go home. The siege is over. The city of Abel is saved, not by soldiers, not by weapons, but by the courage, wisdom, and decisive action of one unnamed woman. She saw the bigger picture. She wasn't afraid to speak truth to power. She negotiated a peace that her own leaders couldn't, and she saved her community from total annihilation. This story is a powerful reminder that true strength isn't always about brute force. Sometimes it's about wisdom. It's about having the courage to step up and speak when everyone else is silent. It's about finding a third option when it seems like the only choices are fight or die. The Wise Woman of Abel didn't have a title or an army, but she had a voice, and she used it to save her world. It's a lesson that is just as relevant today as it was 3,000 years ago. Thanks for watching. If you found this story as inspiring as I did, hit that like button and subscribe for more hidden gems from history. Let me know in the comments what you think about this incredible woman's story. See you next time.